Okay, hello. It's been a couple of days. I went ahead and watched, me and my husband ended up watching the movie Misery, uh, and I enjoyed it a great deal. So, me and my husband watched Misery, and it's been a couple of days, but it's still fresh on my mind, so it's totally fine. And I really liked it. I really prefer its beginning compared to the books. Like I said prior, that the book, the first like 100 pages are like extremely boring, and it took me a while to get into the book. And I think it's because the way it starts out, like he like wakes up and Annie tells him Paul all about what happened and why he is where he is at that point. And in the movie, the whole accident and everything that happens to get to where he's waking up in the book at, all that actually happens on screen. So that was nice. So I liked the very beginning of the movie. In the movie, again, this will be spoilery, so just know that going in, because I can't really talk about the movie and the book's comparisons if I don't go into spoiler alerts. So there's that. So if you haven't read the book and you don't want to be spoiled, I'll see you later. Sorry. Hopefully come back after you have read the book if you want to, which I think you should. Anyway, so the only thing that I really didn't necessarily want from the movie was there's more like focus on the police, like, because obviously when you come right down to it, okay, in the book, really it's about a man who's stuck in one room in this house in the middle of nowhere with a crazy woman named Annie. I mean, that's what the book is about. Okay, and you can only do so much with that to entertain someone through a movie. So to kind of like make it more interesting, they have this old man who is a cop, small town cop kind of a deal. But he's extremely smart, and he does care about what happened to Paul. In the beginning, it seems like he's just like, "Oh, whatever, I'm just going to blow this off because nothing happens in these small towns. That's the whole point of me being the sheriff, so that way." It seems that way, but in reality, that's not the case. And he actually is extremely smart, and he cares more. Highway patrol kind of comes into play for a little bit and like pretty much brushes it aside as they find his car, and Paul must have dragged himself out of it, and he's dead somewhere out there in the woods, or someone ate him, or what have you. Or not someone, but an animal ate him. That's their like final say in the matter. And in the book, it seemed like all the cops were like looking for him, and in the movie, it's this one man, and he's very smart, and he cares, and he tries to find him. And because you're following him in the movie, like you're like following his journey trying to find Paul, like you start actually caring about him. And what was sad is that they don't have the lawnmower scene from the book to movie. They don't have that scene. But I knew when the cop showed up to Annie's house to like talk to her because he has his suspicions about her having Paul, like he's trying to like, be able to decide whether or not those suspicions are fact or not. When he showed up to the house, I knew he was going to die because I watched the book. I mean, I read the book, but I knew he was a goner. And at that point, I did like him, and I did have connections with him, and so it hit harder. Did it happen the same way? No. Another part that annoyed me about the movie was that there was snow the entire time. Well, in the book, it goes for like, he's there for like a year. And in the movie, it's like he's there for a couple months. Well, any writer can tell you he's writing a book for this lady because she didn't like the way he ended his series. And she wants him, and it happens in the movie too, she wants him to write another book to that series to right his wrongs that he did. And so he's writing a whole book for this lady. That's not going to take a couple months. And in the book, it's very obvious it doesn't take a couple months. It takes, almost a year's worth. They go through seasons and months on a calendar. Like it's marked in the book. You know, like he looks up at the calendar and she like moves it from February to March and so forth and so on. So like, and there's a, like I said earlier, there's a lawn mowing scene. Well, that's because she's mowing her lawn. You can't do that if there's snow. And sure enough, the whole movie, there's snow the entire time. Not only that, but my husband said this is pretty lazy editing, which is true because there's like a downpour, like a hardcore downpour rain in one scene, and the snow is still there and it's not moving off her house. Like, it's obviously not raining. So, like, stuff like that, like, you just catch on to kind of stuff like that, especially when you're like really analyzing it compared to just watching it. But anyway, that's not the point. And I can't remember the actors' names. I can barely remember the characters' names, so give me a break. But the person who plays Annie, she does a fantastic job. Fantastic job playing Annie. Man, she's so sweet and innocent in the beginning and psycho in the end. And she does a wonderful job going back and forth between the two. Wonderful. I know that the praise is already out there for her acting for that, but it's well deserved. Let me tell you, she does a wonderful job. That was perfect acting. Honestly, I'm thinking that they're about equal. Book versus movie, I'm thinking this is pretty equal. Because there are some really good parts about the movie that I talked about, that the book needed not to be like the very beginning of the book, the first 100 pages would have been better off if they had started where the movie started. The like bits and pieces of him writing the book, like the what's happening in the book, like that's in the what's happening in the misery book that he's writing is in the book, the Stephen King's book. Okay, so that those parts are not in the movie because that's not necessary, nor is it in any way that you can put that in the movie. So that was good to cut that out. Like, you know, there were good parts. The only thing is that I kind of wish that they would have shown him actually being there a whole lot longer than he was. Things are kind of rushed to, like, him being found and all that stuff. All that was rushed because it's a movie and the seasons weren't in there. So like him going into madness wasn't a thing either, not really. And now he's still in the very, very end of it. It's very obvious that he has PTSD, and they show that in the movie, which was nice. The things that annoyed me about the movie was that it wasn't really like he was there forever and ever and ever. It looked like he was there for a couple months, maybe even a couple weeks. Like he wasn't there very long. Okay, I mean there was still snow on the ground. That was unfortunate. I think that could have been easily represented in some way, that him being there a whole lot longer than he was. Another part that I felt like shouldn't have been left out was his addiction to the drugs that Annie is giving him, the pain pills. They show him taking the pain pills and all that, but he like decides really quickly and early on that he's going to give these pain pills. He like in the movie he like breaks them up and makes them in a powder, you know, gets all the powder out of the pill because they're like little gel caplets, you know, and he puts it in like a little makeshift envelope, and then he suggests having dinner, and then he like when she walks away he like puts the powdered pills in her drink. Well, he does that in the book. He like thinks of that idea in the book, but then he tries, like he tastes a little bit of the pain pill like he does in the movie and realizes it's not going to work. That bitter taste isn't, like, you're going to figure that out pretty quickly. Like, Annie's not stupid, so I can't do that. So he like throws that out of the window. But in the movie, he actually he tries to do that. It doesn't succeed, but he tries to. And not only that, but he's so addicted to those pain pills. It's part of him going into madness. He's so addicted to those pain pills in the book that he wouldn't want to ruin the chance of taking them. Like, and in this one, he like doesn't take them. He like has them in his mouth, and when she walks away, he like stores them. And he like goes and steals more pills while she's away doing like chores or what have you, but he sticks those in his mattress. Like, he doesn't, his obsession of getting the pain pills on a regular basis is not an obsession. And I feel like that was contributing to him going into madness in the book. And so I feel like that was a missed opportunity as well. But all in all, because we all know, I mean, a movie can't go strictly to the book format because then it probably wouldn't be a great movie, right? All in all, though, I would say that they are pretty evenly matched. They're pretty much dead on with each other. Like, it was a good making of that book, for sure, 100%. If they ever remade it, like it seems like they're remaking all kinds of movies at this point. If they ever remade it, I don't know if they would do better at all, to be honest, because like I said, the actor who plays Annie did a fantastic job, and it would be really hard to find someone, I feel like, that could do that transition from kindness and sweetness to insanity like in a drop of a hat. So I don't know about that, but I would say that that one, book, movie, head-to-head battle, tied for different reasons, but they tied. So there's that. So next up is Pet Sematary. I'm reading the book right now, actually. I'm about halfway through the book, so I'll be reporting back to you shortly on my feelings about the book, and then I'll watch the movie. So see you soon. Bye.